Hello, I'm Michaela and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Today we are here to talk about Tokyo Revengers. Now, if you remember when I did my Crunchyroll 2021 Anime Awards video, here it is right there, I said that I was going to watch watch two of shows that were mentioned, that they showed a little preview in the little rewards ceremony, and Tokyo Revengers was one of them. It took me a minute for me to actually start the show because, well, I was watching other stuff. But when I finally started the anime, there was a dub already out. So I'm glad that I waited as long as I did. That way I can binge it all without waiting. One thing that I thought was rude about this show was all the cliffhangers. So yeah, I think it's better to wait for this show so you can just binge it all, because you won't be able to take it with all the cliffhangers they give you. Now, however, the MC, the main character, is annoying, okay? Takemichi Hanagaki, played by AJ Beckles. I love his voice. He's a newcomer because I never heard of him before, and I don't think he has a lot on his resume, but yeah, he's good, but I hate the character. Some people might compare him to Deku from My Hero Academia because of the crying. But when Deku cries at the right moment and eventually he grows out of it, I never really cared about Deku's cry. It never bothered me like Takemichi when he cries, okay? And I'm just going by what I've seen in the anime on My Hero Academia, because I haven't read the manga. So maybe he cries more, I don't know. But, like I said, I never really cared when Deku cried because, I know, I found it endearing when he did it. When it comes to Takemichi, he just about cries in every episode. I'm like, come on, man, no more crying, no more inner monologues, you just gotta go. Anyway, I will take Deku as a protagonist over Takemichi any day, or maybe any of the other protagonists. Now, there's 24 episodes of Tokyo Revengers, and I'm just like, where's the growth? Anyway, Takemichi learns that his ex-girlfriend, his only ever girlfriend he's ever had from middle school, Hinata Tachibana, played by Lizzie Freeman, is dead. His life is already a mess and depressing, but to make matters worse, he got pushed in front of a train. But he didn't die, because that is when he travels back in time. He has no idea what's happening, and except that he's back in middle school. Later on, he discovers the trigger that makes him travel back in time is when he shakes hands with Naoto Tachibana. Hinata, played by Griffin Puato. I don't know how to say his last name. But who happens to be Hinata's little brother. Somehow, Takemichi was able to convince Naoto during his first trip back in time that time travel is real. So he has at least one ally to help him through his journey. Now, the cause of Hinata's death has something to do with the Tokyo Manjin gang, or Toman for short. So Naoto gives Takemichi certain tasks or goals in order to keep certain causes and effects from happening. Even though he prevents one disaster from happening, something always goes wrong. You think knowing what happens in the future that he would know what to do when he goes back in time. He has an advantage, but I guess not. But the main thing that Takemichi is supposed to prevent from happening is prevent Manjiro, Mikey, Sano, played by Alex Lee, I think, yes, that's how you say it, and Tetta Kisaki, played by Nicholas Ray, from ever meeting. Mikey is the commander of the Tokyo Majin gang. Later on, Takemichi learns that if he wants to take control of what happens in the future and save Hinata, he needs to aim for the top spot in the gang. Now, back to Mikey. Just because he has these really dark eyes that look like you're staring into the abyss doesn't mean he's a bad guy, even though he's in a gang. People respect him and fear him. He has his moments when he lets his guard down around people he's close with. And he just likes being a kid. But if you mess with him or his friends or his gang members, you're in trouble. You could tell from the trailer that he knows how to fight. And he's known for his powerful kicks. Keisuke, on the other hand, is just bad. He's bad news. We don't like him. We don't need to really go into him much, except that you need to always watch him. You don't know what he's up to. He's always up to something. He's trash. On to the next thing. The Tokyo Majin gang, or Tomon, has a few characters that I just love and adore. So let's talk about them real quick. Yes, why not? Ken, or Draken Ryuguchi, played by Sean Chiplock. He's the vice commander of the Tomon. He's more mature and he understands that actions come with consequences. He loves to find strong opponents to fight. Even though he can become a monster when he goes all out during fights, he's a very caring individual. He doesn't like showing affection, but you can definitely tell he cares for Mikey as a close friend, and the other gang members as well. Keisuke Baji, I think that's how you say it, played by Lucien Dodge. He's the first division captain and one of the founding members of Tomon. Plus, let me just add, Draken and Mikey are also founding members, clearly, if you didn't actually know. Anyway, Baji has a wild personality. He pulls his hair back when it's time to fight with all his might. Plus, he has his trademark grin. I don't want to spoil anything, so let me just tell you this. He's smarter than he looks, and he's a real one. We love Baji. We stan him, okay? Now, moving on to Chifuyu Matsuno, played by Adam MacArthur. He's the vice captain of the 1st Division. He refuses to fight those he finds close or considers his close friends. He's willing to let his emotions flow if the situation calls for it. He's usually composed under high-pressure situations. And he's also very willing to go against people that are in higher positions, higher power, if they're doing something morally wrong. And then we have Takahashi Mitsuya, played by Grant George. He's one of the founding members as well, and is the 2nd Division captain of Tomon. He's level-headed and brings the positivity of the gang, plus he doesn't have a scary presence like the other members. One thing you'll find surprising is that he is the president of the sewing club. The sewing club members love Mitsuya. They're not scared of him at all, even though they know that he's part of a gang. Now, one thing I'm surprised after looking up the voice actors of this show is that some of their roles of Tokyo Avengers are their very first roles. For example, Jonathan Leon, who plays Kazushi Yamagishi, one of Takemichi's closest friends from middle school. I love his voice, so I hope he gets cast in other stuff too. If you haven't watched the dub yet, go ahead and watch it. Re-watch it, because it's worth it, I promise you. Because it's amazing. And that is all I have for you today. Tokyo Revengers is like a thriller, action, and science fiction, because time travel, and just good stuff, good characters, other than the MC. I'm hoping he grows more in the second season. I can't remember if there's one that's been announced yet, but cross the fingers, because it's got like an 8-point score, over 8 for Mall, myanimelist.com or .net. So we can only hope. I really want it, because that was the biggest cliffhanger of the season in the finale, if you've watched it, so you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is on Crunchyroll. You can watch it in sub or dub. I, of course, am going to recommend the dub, because I love these voice actors. Their voice actors are really deep, gives them that extra oomph of the character, if you know what I mean. Anyway, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram so you know what I'm doing. And just to remind you that Tokyo Revengers, they're in middle school and they have gangs. What? Just craziness. It's a thrill. It's a very real, great story. Okay, I'm rambling. All right. I am Michaela. I will see you later. Don't forget to follow me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I'm Michaela. I will see you later. Bye.